we're gonna get into the PadSplit model. Raise your hand if you know what PadSplit is. Okay, so most folks. So let's get a little bit deeper in there. For those who don't know, we're gonna find out a little bit, okay? So let's bring Suzanne up, make some noise.
My name is Suzanne. I work for PadSplit. So everyone, my background, I think, in investing is kind of a helpful way to give a little story about how I arrived to PadSplit. So I grew up in Bellevue. My background is more in business operations. Thankfully, I had been investing in real estate for the last 10 years after I was busy with my W-2. And over the last 10 years, I built a portfolio of multifamily properties and one adult family home. And so the last year and a half, I've been looking at trying to grow that portfolio, and I had found that I could not really get really good deals, or the cash on cash wasn't really good. So I started paying attention to other leasing strategies. And so about a year and a half ago, I heard about this company called PadSplit, and I was, starting to listen to see what were they doing, and how could it, where could the opportunity be? So I am a host advisor for PadSplit. I joined the company in January, but my background is that I'm an investor, and I'm also looking to grow my investments here in Seattle. So why I'm really excited to talk to you guys is because I think we're at the very beginning of this. Ellen talked about her example, but this is very early days for PadSplit. We have 88 units in the Seattle metro market. By comparison, in other markets, we have about 2,000 units and up. So today I'm going to share with you, I'm not going to go too much into what PadSplit is. I'm just going to jump into some examples that are here locally in Seattle. I have two case studies that I wanted to share with you guys today. So these are real active listings. These properties just went live since mid-May. And so the first property is a property in Federal Way. It's actually in Milton, so it's very close to Federal Way. But this is a 13-bedroom home. So it may not look like a 13-bedroom home from the facade. But this property listed in mid-May. And I wanted to go into why this is a good PadSplit. It's close to all the transport. It's really close to Tacoma and Federal Way. So it's ideal for any kind of workforce. And so this slide goes a little bit more into the numbers. So I'm going to go over this really quickly, but if you want me to go through the numbers, or you want to ask me more details, definitely get in touch with me and get my contact, or book some time with me, and I can go through more of this with you. But basically what I wanted to show you was, if you can't see the numbers, the purchase price was $800, and the owner did an invoice authorization for $50K, and he got a construction loan of $70,000. So all in, he was $820 for this property. And we calculated for his 13 bedrooms, when it's 100% occupied, his gross revenue is around $16,000. So it's like a multifamily, when it comes to income. And so if you look at his operating expense, how PadSplit works is we take 8%, and then utilities, Wi-Fi, and cleaning is included in the weekly rate that we charge members. So I like to run these numbers with people up front, because I don't want there to be a surprise or unclear expectations for actually what you're going to net in your property. But this is one example. And then I'm going to jump to my second example. This is actually Ellen's house. So Ellen just talked about mindset, but this is the property. So this is a duplex. It was a 5-bedroom, 7-bedroom that she converted to a 12-bedroom, and it's 2 blocks. It's a duplex with 6 and 6, and Ellen did this in 6 weeks. So she bought the property in April. She went live, I think, the last week of May, and now here we are mid-June, and she's got 6 rooms of 12 booked. So I think this is a really incredible case study. And why this is a great location for PadSplit is it's in a BC neighborhood. It's not an A neighborhood. Across the street from Ellen's property, there's like a baseball field to an elementary school. So she's got plenty of parking. So in our area, if you have a 12-bedroom, I would plan for 1 car per room, just to be on the safe side. So if you're looking at properties and it's on a cul-de-sac and there's no parking, I think that would be difficult because you might get complaints from neighbors. If you have an HOA and you want to do this and it's a 10-bedroom, you may get complaints as well. So I would be looking for BC neighborhoods, plenty of parking. For this property that Ellen bought, she also has the long-term potential to do a dadu. So there's like multiple plays that she's doing with this property. And then to run the numbers, just very high level, she purchased the property for $700, put about 70 into it, and her gross revenue from 12 bedrooms is going to be around 13,000. So if you have questions, talk to Ellen directly. If you want to know more about the Federal Way property, I'm happy to connect you with the owner, Yoni. He's happy to share, his reason and decision for coming to PadSplit. This is my contact, if you can see it. My name's Suzanne Vetillart. My email is right here. If you want to learn more about PadSplit, definitely come reach out to me. I'm happy to talk with you one-on-one. I'm happy to do a gross revenue analysis for a property you might have, or help talk you through what to look for if you're trying to figure out a buy box for a good PadSplit in the area. If there's any takeaway from today, I would just, one of the things to keep in mind in this market is it's not just Seattle that PadSplit works for. PadSplit is working for areas like 45 minutes from Seattle. So Puyallup, Auburn, Everett, Federal Way, Tacoma, I think is a really great market. Bremerton, these are all areas that I think PadSplit really does work well for, as long as there's some kind of workforce close by. So I think that's really one of the key things that before I joined PadSplit, I didn't understand or realize that there's a lot of demand for this. And then also that a room that is on PadSplit is generating around $900 to $1,100 for a shared bathroom, and $1,200 to $1,400 for a private bath. So those are just some basic numbers. Happy to talk more with you. Really grateful to Kenny to be here to share the PadSplit with you all. Thank you.
PadSplitters unite. All the PadSplitters in the house. Raise your hand if you learned what PadSplitting was today. Awesome.